instant loan apps, people committing suicides because of their family images are morphed. Spot boy also on the thing monitor में कैसा लग रहा है तेरे को? So I know that he will say नहीं सर बढ़िया बढ़िया. तो मैं धीरे से पूछता बता ना यार कुछ बता दे कुछ ऐसा कर ले. तो then he said कि सर कुछ ऐसा कर लेते ना. So then I used to go back and do my thing. And all thanks to my son Ayan who pushed me to do that, and he gave me an idea कि dad shoot an action sequence with no cuts. My mom used to say a very beautiful line कि सोनू कभी अपनी जिंदगी कलम में दुआओं की स्याही डाल कर तो देख, फिर देख तेरा नाम पन्नों पर नहीं आसमान पर लिखा जाएगा.
I am in conversation with an established actor but a debutant director who is here to raise the bar with his upcoming project Fateh. If you haven't guessed it yet, I'm in conversation with the brilliant Sonu Sood.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Filmfare.
Thank you so much.
So, my first question to you is, what intrigued you to the topic or to the script for that matter of Fateh?
I think Fateh is a story of every common man who, faces all these cyber mafias, cyber frauds. It's a story of every common man, especially in India now when you have these deep fakes, these instant loan apps, people committing suicides because of their family images are morphed, groups are created. So I went through a lot of these cases, about these people who were trying to approach me for their help, in the studies or the medical problems they had. So, in fact, I heard of the cases, the suicides that were happening because of that. So I wanted to address that issue. I started writing Fateh. And again, I wanted to have that backdrop of action, not just to address the issue of Fateh, but also to make it entertaining so that people enjoy the whole space, the whole world that we create.
So digital awareness or awareness about cyber crimes is very important. But to bring in that entertaining thriller, how did you sort of balance that as a debutant director?
No, I think that was a challenge when you just want to tell the story of, cyber frauds happening and people don't want to listen. They feel कि यार छोटी चीज़ है दुनिया है, cyber frauds की दुनिया. But when you talk about action, suddenly becomes larger than life. So how you serve them a story which is wrapped in the word of entertainment but tells the truth. So I think that is Fateh all about. It's got the action which I haven't done so far ever in my life in a span of 25 years. It's got the sound that I always wanted to listen to all these years. It's got the cinematography, which I always believe is at par with any Hollywood film. So that's a word that I imagined before I went on the sets. And I'm glad with the best of people that I got on board, we were able to achieve that.
Right. So talking about sound, action, cinematography, again, like as a debutant director, of course, it must have been intimidating on sets to kind of look at each and every aspect.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to grasp that?
I would say it didn't take too long. I was always a technical guy. I'm an engineer who started learning about the cameras, about the technical things from day one.
Yeah.
When I was still struggling to get my first movie break, that's the time I bought a book that taught me what sound is, how the word of sound is created. So I always wanted to learn that. I always wanted to be a good learner because I never thought that I'll direct a film one day. But as an actor, you need to know all the technicalities if you want to grow. Okay, we are given those lines, we deliver it the way we want, we go back to the homes and that's it. But that was not which I wanted to do. I wanted to learn how it's done, how you can better yourself. So I think all these years when I was learning unknowingly, somewhere it was destined that I'll be taking care of the camera and directing my film where all these learnings will help me do that I wanted to do. And I'm glad that Fateh happened. I got to work with the best of technicians across the globe. That was my wish list. I made it happen. I didn't have any connections to make that happen, but I wanted the film to look in a certain way. I wanted the film to be shot, sound, action, and I'm glad that Almighty guided me and opened few doors for me.
We'll come to you directing others, but how was it directing yourself? How would you rate yourself as an actor after you've become a director?
I don't know, that's a tough job. I hope I don't go wrong somewhere. But I try to be very, very, I would say, critical, when as a critic, I would see my performance, yaar, acha hua, nahi hua. Then I used to get some spot boy also on the thing monitor, mein, kaisa lag raha terko? So I know that he will say, nahi sir, badhiya, badhiya. तो मैं धीरे से पूछता, बता ना यार, कुछ बता दे, कुछ ऐसा कर ले. तो then he said कि sir, कुछ ऐसा कर लेते ना. So then I used to go back and do my thing. So I'm a good learner, I would say. I'm a good listener, and I listen to what people say to get those feedback. So I think once you are in the flow and you know the script well, you know the character well, then life is not that difficult.
Which feedback do you remember clearly that you took while you were directing the movie, and that has stayed with you?
I don't remember any one, but I would say I remember when we were doing some action sequences and all. My action director Lee Whittaker, when he came, he said, "Ki Sonu, if you are able to achieve what you have designed, this is going to be an action that has never been seen on Indian cinema." So it's a big challenge for us to do it, but we have to make it happen. We are pushing each other. It was a tough schedule, those 10-12 days I remember. But we were correcting each other. Okay, I want this way, I want that way. He was doing his bit. But I think in all those discussions, we created something that all our Indian moviegoers will be proud of.
Could you talk to me more about your action directors and the people you've collaborated with? Because that seems very intriguing. Also from the assets that I saw.
Right.
It's very intriguing. The action is very, very new and very fresh.
Right.
That's something obviously that we haven't really explored in India much. So could you talk to me about all of them who were working?
So, all these years I've been doing action. Worked with every action director in this country multiple times. So how our actions are designed in a film, a filmmaker writes ki ek aise action hota hai, where all these gundas will come, action will happen, and after 4-5 days of action, they finish. But what is happening in the action? Okay, someone is thrown on the boxer, someone is thrown on the drum, someone flies with a cable. So we sometimes depend too much on the action directors to do it. But what is happening? What is the storyline? What are the punches? So my thought was ki I have to make sure I design the action in which every single punch is the way I want it, and then we'll see how to execute it. So, the man throwing an axe on someone's head, all those small, every single punch was designed. Okay, so when I was fighting, I said, we don't want too much of bullets flying all over. We want hand-to-hand combat, and that too real. Okay, he's firing with the magazine gets over. So if he's fighting with the magazine is gone, there are plates, and so he's fighting the plates, he's fighting the pans, he's fighting with a kettle. Whatever is around the thing, he's making those things as weapons. So this is the story I wanted. We created that word. I edited the whole thing. I shared with my action director, Lee Whittaker. He's done Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious. And he said it's very ambitious to shoot that because you don't have those many action stuntmen in India. So we got all these people from Mexico, South Africa to do it, almost 70 people. There's a single short action sequence, which is 3.5 minutes in the film, which I haven't seen so far on Indian screen. And all thanks to my son, Ayan, who pushed me to do that, and he gave me an idea. Dad, shoot an action sequence with no cuts. Okay. People should feel like they are in a game. They are in that PS4, PS5 zone where the action is happening. Your POV, the audience should feel that they are in that action sequence. After 2.5 months of prep, we finally executed that single shot, which is one of a kind. And I'm proud that we were able to do that. Now coming back to the sound, again, I wanted to sound differently. I'm glad that we got a track from Hans Zimmer. It's called To the Moon. Loire, Cotler, the voice of Dune. She's the voice of Fateh. She is Grammy nominated. I saw one of the interview of Hans Zimmer. And he said, she is so good that when she sang for Dune, we thought that she won't be able to sing again. She went to that scales. And I connected the next day. In 3 days, she was on board, and she became the voice of Fateh. I had a look in mind of the film that the kind of lighting that whole film should have, very international. So I spoke to Vincenzo, who's an Italian DOP. I said, I want this film to look like this. Every single scene of the film had a reference what the film and the lighting is going to look like. So that thing was given to him, to the gaffers, to the lightmen. Everyone knew what the film is going to look like. So I think all these detailing, it took me 1.5 years to put those things together. the whole film took me 2.5, 3 years to make it. 1.5 years was the prep, 1.5 years was the shoot and the edit. And the editing also I wanted in a particular way. The film has to be cut, not regular that we give to an editor and he cuts you and gives you what you want. So I got a new guy on board. I said, only thing is you have to sit with me day and night and edit the way you want. He's a very smart guy, Yash, and he started doing editing.
So you were hands-on in the editing process as well?
Every single day. I sit for 8 to 10 hours every single day from past 10 months.
Okay.
So with a new guy, this is first film as an editor. But I said, I just need your time. You have to be there when I'm doing and we'll cut the way we want it. And it's been done. I feel that we have done some good job, something which is not seen on screen. I remember one of the favorite editing in the films was Jason Bourne. When we talk about Bourne series, it's called ASL. It's called average shot length.
Okay.
So how, if you calculate the whole number of shots in the film, let's say 4,000 shots or 6,000 shots, and you calculate the length of the film and you divide it, so average shot length is how much? So Jason Bourne's first film was I think 4.2 seconds per shot, and second was 2.4. So it was so nicely cut and joined. So that's why we keep on moving like that. I said we have to create something like that. Obviously it's a first film, we can't create that magic, but let's try to do that. So we cut the film in a certain manner, which I feel it's a little new for Indian audience, and I hope people enjoy that.
Yeah, so much information to process for me. But amazing. I know why the film was named Fateh in the sense that I can get the context, but why did you fixate on Fateh?
I think Fateh is a very positive word. Fateh is the name of this character. There were so many Fatehs we have in Punjab. You call Waheguru Ji da Khalsa, Waheguru Ji di Fateh. Everything is positive about it. And Fateh Singh is a character who's very positive in life, lives in a village like a common man, but has a backstory behind that. And I thought that as my first film, the title has to be so positive and it has to resonate with his journey, his win against the bad. So I think it came, and I'm glad that we got.
From the assets that I saw, it felt like the character is a grey character in the beginning, but he becomes positive towards the end. It's that so?
No, it's not.
It's not?
Yeah, okay. I think I'm glad that you're not able to guess. So idea was to cut a trailer. We only cut the trailer in the office. So cut a trailer where people keep on guessing, but they are wrong with the guesses. So I'm glad that you're wrong. Thank you so much for that.
I thought maybe, it's
no,
about
it's not.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming to you directing Naseeruddin Shah, Vijay Raz, such brilliant actors. You directing yourself, such a brilliant actor. I mean,
thank you so much.
Of course. So, what kind of, as an actor, you kind of learn things about your processes. But as a director, what did you have to unlearn?
I think every actor has got a USP which a director needs to identify. When you're working with actors like Naseer Saab, Vijay Raz, they've got their own style. Sometimes director mount their creative vision on an actor, and actor is not able to do it convincingly because it's already carrying a baggage. When I spoke to Naseer Bhai and Vijay Raz, I said, this is what the character is, this is what the situation is, do the way you want it. So I'll mold it, I'll shoot it accordingly like that, and let's have a rehearsal. And Naseer Bhai, you can't go wrong with him. He did it so brilliantly, and I told him that, somewhere when you used to feel you want to say something to him, the way you have visualized, you need to explain to him once and he knows what to do. So I think it's a blessing to have good actors for your very first film as a writer, as a director. And I'm glad that, we created a world which was genuine, which was real, which was something relatable. If you see the lines, the dialogues that it's written, it's very relatable. It's the way we talk. There's no, suddenly, a dialogue can be very, very, will have a lot of punch, but you don't have to say it, ki main ye aisa kar दूँ, aisa nahi. So it's, sometimes when a dialogue is very powerful, actor tends to change the pitch and say that, man, aisa hota hai ye sab. I wanted those dialogues, which is very conversational, कि हम लोग बात करते करते dialogue बोल दें और लोगों को लगे, अरे क्या line बोली यार. So that was an idea, and I think we are able to achieve that.
How long did the script take to be finalized?
Almost 1.5 years. And then also on the sets also I kept on exploring, changing as per the thoughts that come in.
Are you someone who goes along the way as a director, like changing?
Yeah, I do that. I do that. I think it's very important. Like I said, I always tell in my interviews, I saw one of the interview by Steven Spielberg also. He said, the day you think your film is finished, or you're writing a film and you think that your film is finished, think that your film is finished. You have to explore yourself. You have to keep on changing, exploring new things. When an actor comes up with an idea, you should be able to use that. Sit with the writer, sit with the actor, try to change it. That's the time your film starts evolving. So I follow that school.
From the time I came here, I saw that you are in such a lively mood, and I'm sure that's the same case when you're directing.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the special moments that you had on set, something that you remember with Naseeruddin Shah, with Vijay Raj, or with Jacqueline for that matter.
You know, I'll tell you, actors are always in a happy space because they are respected. They have reached something. A good set is where a technician is in a happy space, a spot boy is in a happy space, a lightman who is in a happy space. How many people remember the lightmen who have been lighting day and night, who come before you and they pack up after you? So I love spending time with them. I love chatting with them. We sometimes eat together, I sit with them. I hardly go in my van. Since morning I've taken my room, I haven't gone there. So I love spending time with them. I think that keeps you connected with your soul. And this is what I've learned in all these years. The more you see success, the more you go up, the oxygen levels are always less, the more you rise in life. So you have to stay grounded. It's a very scary space to suddenly get that success and suddenly see all the people around you disappear. All the genuine people, your friend from school, friend from college. And if they do, I think that's a red flag to remind you that something is not right. So I think in our industry it happens a lot because sudden success comes, a lot of people, new breed of people around you. So I think old friends will always keep you, checked whether you're right or wrong.
Right, absolutely. Also, Fateh is a passion project to you. It's very clear. It's very clear from whatever you told me, whatever I've heard. But at the same time, there's also something called the box office, which is also kind of taking its course now in the sense that there are 1,000 crores movies that are coming out. Does that matter to you as an actor or as a director or as someone who is associated to filmmaking?
I think every film has a journey. If you talk about a 1,000 crore film, they're the part ones who are sold for 18-20 crores and the part two are sold for 700 crores. So the first film has to be right. It has to be genuine. It has to be success. Then the success follows. You can't fight with successful box office numbers. You have to fight with yourself whether you made a film which is true to your craft or not. कि आपने कितनी ईमानदारी से film बनाई. That tomorrow when you sleep, you'll say, I proudly feel myself associated with this product. And I can say that, okay, this is something that I own. That is very important. If you can't do that, no matter how big the box office number is, you will never be successful.
So one should also be happy about films that are underrated.
Of course, yes. I think, like I said, you have to enjoy the craft. You have to enjoy the journey. Rest leave up to God.
That is true.
Yeah.
Also, you're known for your humanitarian spirit. Let me tell you that when during COVID, when all of us were at our homes, and I used to check my feed, and I used to see that you've done something for the people who were in dire need. It really filled my heart with joy, and I really felt like, oh my God, there's someone who is actually thinking about the people who are on the streets, especially during that time. I really wanted to ask you, was there any trigger point in your life which made you help other people in whatever capacity you could?
My mom used to say a very beautiful line कि सोनू कभी अपनी जिंदगी कलम में दुआओं की स्याही डाल कर तो देख, फिर देख तेरा नाम पन्नों पर नहीं आसमान पर लिखा जाएगा. So बहुत मुश्किल होता है किसी की उम्मीद बनना, किसी के लिए कोशिश करना. And I'm glad that I was able to go through that phase of my life where a common man felt that I'm a part of his life. He believed that I'll be able to make him meet his family. He believed that one phone call when I'm going to call and when an unknown number is going to hit my screen, I'm going to pick up the call and ask, what do you need? So that space was magical.
Yeah.
It was much more than all my 25 years of career put together. Still, when I meet all these people, I meet people at the signals. I meet people when I travel to different states that अरे सर आपने मेरे बेटे को बाहर भेजा था, आपने मेरे माँ का इलाज कराया था. So I think it's much more satisfying than any box office number. Like I said, I thank God every day for making me do all that. And I wish and I pray to God every day that no matter what, just keep me equipped and sorted, that I keep on doing and I follow that journey, which is the most special journey of my life.
Those are all my questions.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you so much for speaking
Thank
to
you
me.
so much.